Welcome back. Today's current events. Apparently, Mark Rutte, the Prime Minister of this country, the best guy in the world. Oh my God, he's so amazing and amazing and amazing. Even though his cabinet was the reason that we had this scandal where everybody was getting fucked over by the Palestinians, and everybody was getting fucked over with money and benefits, and they said that they were guilty of benefit fraud and they were told to pay back all the money, but that wasn't even the real truth. And then it was found out that people with ethnic names were the ones that were being targeted by the blasting deans. So it was obviously racial prejudice, but he gets attacked by some guy. No, he didn't even get attacked. What happened was he got threatened by someone online. Like, dude, you get threatened online. Like you see how I get threats online every day. Like people threaten me on my YouTube channel every day, all the time. I get threats in the comment section. But do I get protection from the police, and do they arrest those people that are threatening me online? No, I don't get any protection. But the politicians, they get protection from people that are threatening them online. Like, you can't deal with a little bit of threats. Oh my God, this is hilarious. I don't condone threatening. I don't think people should threaten anybody. But at the same time, I'm laughing because it's just crazy how politicians are so coddled and just protected in this little bubble. And oh, it's okay, nothing's gonna happen to you, we're protecting you, it's okay. I mean, you need protection. I mean, they do need protection because they're the head of the country, and they're the reason, and they have a lot of power, and the cabinets have a lot of power, the ministers have a lot of power, these politicians have a lot of power. They decide the laws, they decide the mask mandates. We have to wear masks in buses. We don't have a choice as the citizens of this. I'm a citizen of this fucking country, but I don't have. There's nothing I can control about that. Like, so, democracy really isn't democracy. It's not fully. It's not really democracy. You elect these elected officials to govern the country, but you have no say in how the country's governed. I mean, I guess this is how it works. When you vote every few years, they have an election, and then you check each person's. They have a manifesto. Each party has a manifesto. This is how you vote for people to put them in power. Rutte's party has a manifesto. These other parties also have manifestos. I voted for the Green Party guys. I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of like their little manifesto. I looked on their website, and they seemed like they knew what they were talking about. So I voted for them, and and the whole party and the multi-party system needs to be taken out. There's so many things that need to be changed in the Netherlands, dude. So many things. First of all, the multi-party system needs to be needs to be done away with. That needs to be done, 100%. And also, how we do the taxes needs to be taken out. The high taxes need to be gone, taken away, taken out of. And these high administration costs for not paying bills on time need to be taken out, because that's theft. You see how when people don't pay their bills on time, I get it. Sometimes you don't have the fucking finances to do that. And most of the time, there's a reason why these motherfuckers can't pay their bills on time, and then you penalize them with even more bills? How does that work? So you miss your phone bill for like a week, and then you get paid 20. You have to pay 20 euros extra because you didn't pay your phone bill a few days. A few days, you miss the phone bill for a few days, and then you get a 20-euro bill. And then if you miss an appointment, you get a 20-euro bill. So anything that you miss in this country, you get a bill for it. So it's all like fine. They're trying to make sure that you're weaker financially. The money goes to the government. And it's just really strange how the police operate in this country. Like, So you have to give your ID card to any police officer that asks for your ID card. So if a police guy asks me for my ID card, I have to give it to him straight away, no questions asked. Oh, no questions asked. You can't object. You can't ask any questions. You can't ask them, why are you doing this? Why are you asking me for this? You don't get any. It's like a police. So basically, you're living in a police state, and then when you bring up all of these issues and you talk about them, people will tell you, oh, if you don't like it, then why don't you just go somewhere else and leave the country and go back to where you came from, or go back to Somalia. But then the same thing can be said to you, because your ancestors, if you go back long enough, your ancestors weren't even from this country. You killed the people that were living here to take this land. You took it by force. I'm laughing because they don't understand what they're talking about. And that argument of go back to where you came from, or leave the country, go somewhere else if you don't like how the laws are here, that is so slave minded, like, oh, I'm this powerful person, and if you disagree with me and you try to come with some sort of tactic, or you feel like things need to be done differently, I'm just voicing my opinion. Just like you're voicing your opinion, I'm voicing my opinion, and that's okay. I'm allowed to have an opinion. I can't have an opinion. I find it laughable. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I don't really care about what the noise is saying. It's just all noise to me when people tell me stuff like that. It's just external things that I don't have to worry about. Like, I just block it all out. You know how things are when you're absorbing information? You absorb what you want, and then it stays in your mind. But if there's things you don't want to listen to, it just goes out the other ear and you forget about it. And that's how I feel about people that say stuff like that. Just very stupid, racist people that don't really have any other way of thinking. And mindset is everything. That's definitely another thing. I definitely learned something yesterday. Mindset is everything. The way you look at certain situations. That's why you sometimes need to have an external source that comes in, someone outside of the whole bubble that looks into the situation to try and give a different perspective of how the things are going. And they don't do that. I feel like there should be civilian oversight for police and how they are governed and how things are done. I think there should be civilian oversight for how laws are passed. I think there should be a civilian body that regulates these politicians. I think we need checks and balances in place to check politicians of how they do things. You see this whole thing about this that's been going around everywhere, and people are catching it, and then now how long have we had this mask mandate in public transport? I mean, the level of people that are vaccinated is over 80%. That's very high. I've been double vaccinated already. Like, I'm not against vaccinations. I think everybody should get the vaccination. But I'm against the mask mandates. Why are we mandated to wear a mask in public transport? Everywhere we go, we gotta wear a mask. I mean, and then they took off the masks in the stores. So why would you? That doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't understand how these politicians' minds work. So you give a mask inside a grocery store. You don't have to wear a mask inside a grocery store, but in public transport, you have to wear a mask. Dude, you know how close people get to each other inside a store? When you're trying to flipping grab the lettuce over there, and then someone's next to you, and then they grab it before you. Or they're trying to look for something, and then you say, oh, excuse me, can I get past you? And then you literally brush past them. There you go, right there. That's even closer than the butt. So these politicians, they don't really know what they're talking about, in all honesty. These guys, I mean, the experts also are kind of biased, they're experts, and they are very expert in their field, and we should listen to experts. I think that's how we should do things. But the experts are influenced by the politicians, and then the politicians, they influence the so-called experts. So it's all clusterfuck. I mean, it's just how it is.